when someone refers in music to 1, 4, 5, okay, you know what that is, right? So 1 is the tonic of the scale, 4 is the 4th step of the scale, and 5 is the dominant. Okay, so you can record this if you want. Oh, you already are.
I have it.
He's good.
I gotta be careful. I never know when that thing is on. All right, so 1, 4, 5 works like this. You take a scale, any scale, and 1, 4, and 5 are the 3 chords, the 3 major chords in that key, correct? We already talked about that once. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. 1 is called the tonic, 4 is called the subdominant, and 5 is called the dominant. Okay? So when you play pedals, 1 and 5 are the root and the alternate, right? So in the key of C, 1 is the tonic, or the name of the key, and 5 is the alternate. 4 is the subdominant, which means it's under the dominant. Okay, now knowing that, and you don't have to learn all the scales to understand that, you just got to have a kind of an idea of the circle.
What's 5?
Okay, 5 is G. All right, on the circle, if you go to the right, it's the circle of fourths. If you go to the left, it's a circle of fifths. So now you have the circle memorized by now, don't you?
Yes.
Every time I ask the class that, they go, yeah. Okay, so let's C, and then what's at 1 o'clock? F. Then remember, bead, B flat, just like a clock, A flat, D flat. It's beads on a string, a G string. Get it? Yeah. All right. If you go up the back side, get it? B.
Should we go back to the puppy?
Yeah. B-E-A-D on a G. Okay? This half of the circle is the sharp keys. All right? Or the circle of fifths. If you go this way, from C to G is 5, right? From G to D is 5. G to D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From D to A is 5, and so forth, all the way around the circle this way. If you go this way on the circle, it's the circle of fourths. C to F is 4. F to B flat is 4. B flat to E flat is an interval of a fourth. Got it? All right. Now, last week we talked about
Special effects. Go figure.
that was cool. Wasn't that cool when we had those little squeaky things in the pedals? I love that. Okay, so if you're playing pedals, let's get rid of that for a minute. All right, and you play a C pedal. What's its? Every pedal has a partner, right? An alternate. What's the alternate for C? G. Okay, so if you're doing alternate bass, it's always the first and the fifth. Okay? Now, if I walk back from C to G, Greg, can you come up? If you take a C note and you go up the keyboard, play a C up there.
Up here.
And you move to the right and put a G above it, it's an interval of how many?
5.
3 up, 2 down. 5. Count the notes that are up, add 2 to it, and you get 5. Now, play a middle C with your little finger. Go down to G now and add the G under it. Now what interval is it? 4. Okay? 2 up, 2 down. All right. Now, when you learn to play pedals, that's how you have to think. Fifths and fourths. If you play the root pedal and go up, the alternate is a fifth. If you go down, C down to the alternate, which is G, it's a fourth. So if you're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put his clinky thing back on so you can hear better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Or you could start at the high C and go 1, he just did, if you're playing in 4/4 time, you might want to try that instead. Because you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now that's a very common chord progression. Alright? Anytime you think of fourths, or you can get like from C to F is a fourth. So if you go F, C, F, that's the one he just did. Now if I went up, I couldn't do that. I have one extra pedal that I don't, and no beat to put it on. So pedal players think of intervals of fourths. All right. So if you look at Top of the World, and you look at the chords and the way they work, you kind of have to. And pretty soon after you exercise with this a few times, your foot will just do this by itself. But anytime you have an interval of a fourth, you can do what Greg has been trying to teach you. And I learned this week. It was an aha moment. Because Greg learns it by ear. He just knows it sounds good. I have to have more logic there. Because I wasn't born with the ability to play by ear. I have to really work hard at it. So somewhere in there has to be an explanation. That's why I keep saying, can you do that again? Can you, that's how I learned all the little tricks, because ear players just know them. They just don't know how to explain them to me. Okay, he can explain it to him, but I've got to see it more like this. Okay?
Another thing for those that are watching this on YouTube, if you're ear players, and there's a lot of them that are, it's amazing at how great you can sound playing as you remember the song. And then when you go to the paper, the sheet music, suddenly you realize, my God, I've been playing it wrong. Because there's different parts of it that you might have left out or you didn't remember as you were memorizing the song when you heard it on the radio or on television or wherever.
But you didn't care.
You didn't care because you were more concerned of just playing and enjoying it. You weren't concerned about whether you hit the wrong note or the right. You just enjoyed playing the song.
Well, and for him, it's like he didn't care if he hit the wrong notes. It was just Top of the World, and he liked it. Those of us that listened to him play, most of us didn't even notice he didn't hit the right notes. Then he gets in the box, which I call this.
Yeah.
Like me. You're in this box, and when you have these notes and you think they all have to be played like they're written there. Well, they don't, and probably Richard Carpenter didn't write it like this.
Probably.
Somebody else probably redid it for easy play. And the chords that you didn't like, he probably didn't like either. Yeah. See, so all this is a plan, a little basic recipe for you to take yourself and put into it. Okay, so now watch. Here's the exercise, because I'm always an advocate. You got to do the exercise first, otherwise you're never going to be able to apply it to the music. He does it because it just comes to him, and he just has the freedom and the guts to just do it. Me, I got to have more discipline.
There's still a lot of practice.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
A lot of practice, of course.
It doesn't just come to you. The idea comes
Right.
to you.
And it's in your head, and all you have to do is figure out how to get it out.
Right.
Same scenario with me, except I have to use this logic.
Right.
Okay? Now, and a lot of you in class are like Greg. You raised your hand before and said, I learned like him. Some of you learn like me. That's why we always got to do this as a team. Because I've learned more from ear players than I ever did from a book. Okay? You just got to learn how to pick their brains and get them to explain.
Not much left.
It's been picked a lot, hasn't it? But the best way if you can get them to explain to you what it is they're doing, and you have theory, a background in theory, then you can use music, logic, to explain it to yourself. Okay? And I think that's why I like teaching so much, because I have struggled through the years to try to make sense of it all. And the letters we get from the internet are amazing to me. People from all over the world that said, I write music, I've done this, I never realized that this is how easy it was. Or, you finally explained it to me. Especially when you say transpose. Nobody even knew that all you had to do is write down 2 scales and match them up and you're done. Somebody from Egypt wrote and said, oh my gosh, now I am now, while I'm doing this, transposing a song. So, music isn't such a mystery. You just kind of have to apply it and be able to use what he does and Logic too. So now watch.